Students from all over the world, East and West, have been able to come here to participate in the teaching programs. Here at the sacred seat of the Kagyü Rinpoche at the place of Salugara, at this Belehrung center. And the reincarnation of Kagyü Rinpoche, the very venerable Yangtze Rinpoche, and Rinpoche and all of us like to welcome all of you for this program.
现在养出来就刚刚生的，这生的看你们我的，别那么多才让出来的，他们学习你学了就，台湾的学年，学了慢慢了，成就过年，这个他看到这样的方法，就应该学一个，那慢慢下来，你通常，我真是刚刚给大家讲，我说通常切的店面，人家肯定全部都有的，你看这些，是的，是吧？我这问题就是台湾的弄到你看。
Today my mind is not very good, so you will have to excuse me. Tomorrow and the day after tomorrow it will get better, I think. Many of you have come here to participate in teachings now for the third time, having come first and second time. And as you all know, it has been a progressive situation which has been giving you instructions in the meditation practice and in a graded way. And after the completion of the intensive course, we have been given a year's work of practice to do, and having completed such practices and commitments, you come again and again experiencing the teachings, you have further commitments to practice, and so repeatedly you have come now for the third time. And some of you are here for the first time to attend this year's intensive meditation seminar. As we are all very much aware of, in the world, people are lost in the fixations of attachment and aversion, as a result of which experiencing tremendous sufferings. Yet, in spite of all of that, there's very few people who are geared to want to learn and study, and practice the Dharma, and who have the opportunity to do such. And in your particular case, you have availed such precious opportunity to yourselves. And in getting yourselves here, you have gone through a number of difficulties, sacrifices in terms of making the journey and committing to yourself to the expenses and a bit of the time, everything. And so, even at such degenerate time like this, that the aspirations that you are showing, and dedication to the teachings and practice that you are expressing is very much in accordance with the proper practice of the Dharma, and very much in accordance with the examples of the lives of the great practitioners of the past. And as such, it is very impressive, or rather unique, that you are able to do that, and for which is also personally very impressed with your efforts.
대바와 또 수수비가 능력으로 수치를 되고 이런 식의 소리를 듣는 그때 더 그만 수수비에 대해 소소한 문화나 수치를 내가 이제까지는 다양한 거와 그보다 내가 이제까지 수치를 대해 내 일도 그렇게 취해지는 거예요.
Du fond du cœur, je m'en réjouis profondément, que c'est vraiment quelque chose de merveilleux. Et voilà, sachez que vous êtes très fortunés de pouvoir le faire.
Rinpoche himself is personally very profoundly inspired by your effort, and Rinpoche feels it's really wonderful that you've been able to make it, and also for yourselves, Rinpoche feels it's wonderful, and you're very fortunate to be able to come here.
이제 살루가라 가르 전화되는 다 지나는 마음 절대 살루로 이제 그 문화에 되는 같이 상담을 대반 담보는 다 친구들 나오고 문화야 되는 그 이게 이제 하마 그런 신앙들이 하마라고 돼 있는데나 Salugara, 최근에 이제 사전에 또 다른 사람들이 누가 먹었든 좋아요 봐. 이제 산에 한 친구들 내가 뭔가 지금 또 이제 조금 많이 보다 그런 방법도 있는 담을 게 이제 뭔가 한번 소화가 되어 있는 거 자 친구들 지내는 또 마셔도 의원들을 이런 일을 하는 운동하는 사람들 어떤 대중과 관계 맞게 되는 대로 문제 하나밖에 되는 만족이 아빠와 태어나기 아마 꾸준히 되는 재미있게 계산 방법 한정하는 그런 얘기들 서리나 어떤 상황을 말하는 좀 모르겠잖아. 내 저는 내가 서가 내한테는 여자잖아. 말하는 게 그냥 처음이야. 그래서 어떻게 얘기 때문에 그 나는 통합하거든요. 너무 빨리 그 저는 여자라더니 뭐 저는 서에 그 말씀을 내 좋은 일들 때문에 연결하고 하는 식으로 너무 많은 게 저는 여자라더니 소바데 소통을 보니까 공부시 연락하고 그 시간을 가지고 있는 분들 자주에 통화하려는 공부는 다들 오가는 게 같고 이나야 대제는 아주 완화되기 우리 주소리는 주연의 따라 있는 마음으로 로직이 돼야 내가 와서 이 일도 맞다 이거 순간에 로직이 하죠.
Which personally feels it's very significant that the seminar could take place here at Salugara, and the reason being, during the lifetime of the previous Rinpoche, the great master, he performed a great many Buddha activities all over the world. And among his great many Buddha activities, his last major Buddha activity was the building of the stupa here. So this stupa represents the very aspiration of the Bokar Rinpoche for the benefit of beings. And it is in fact locationally also placed at a sort of important juncture, as a place where close to Sikkim, Bhutan, Nepal, and an important juncture, and so for the benefit of people of such neighboring places, and in particular, and of course, for the benefit of all beings in general. And because of the importance of this particular Buddha activity, which remembers Rinpoche writing to the important lineage masters of Tibetan Buddhism to everybody, particularly to His Holiness the Belehrung. So requesting for their blessings for this place, this activity. And such sacred places like Varanasi and Bodhgaya are of course important for Buddhists. But for the students of Kagyu Rinpoche, like Rinpoche himself and others, that this is also equally important and sacred place to have such events like this take place. And as such, Rinpoche himself had thought that at some point in the future, if the course of some meditation seminar could happen here, that would be very good. And Rinpoche expressed his such interest to the General Secretary, Lama Gyaltsena, and Lama Gyaltsena also told Rinpoche that it was such event to take place that he would give whatever support that he can. And so Rinpoche had this in mind. And but at the end of our program last year in Varanasi, majority of the people expressed interest that it could take place in Bodh Gaya, and so we sort of planned it to take place in Bodh Gaya.
Il y a 2 ans, le séminaire de Kagyu avait lieu.
And while we had tentatively planned to have the seminar take place in Bodh Gaya, where we did the first year at Belehrung Rinpoche's monastery. So, as per the wishes of people, we put a request to Belehrung Rinpoche if he could avail his monastic facilities for our retreat. And Belehrung Rinpoche had given us the message that he himself is having some function happening, program happening, around the same time, and therefore we could not have the place. So, by coincidence, that we then decided on having it held here at Salugara.
Le Seigneur lui-même, qui était le secrétaire de Rinpoche dans ce monde,
we have received the full support and help from the General Secretary and Father of Kagyu Rinpoche and Lama Gyaltsena and Mother Salugara, and the staff and the monks of the Salugara temple here. And they have worked so hard in making this possible, in getting everything ready for us to be able to hold the program here and everything else. And all the people, like the monks who have been who live here, have been moved out so that we could take it over. And so in this way, the full cooperation and support has been given to us, extended to us.
Donc il est probable que vous ne trouverez pas ici le confort auquel vous pouvez être habitué chez vous ou dans votre pays. Mais vous avez déjà
yet, with all the effort that has been put to facilitate the program, obviously for you it would not be like being at your home, and you will be experiencing certain amount of difficulties or inconveniences here and there. And as which was talked about earlier, as sincere and dedicated students and practitioners of the Dharma, which has the confidence that you will be able to overlook these inconveniences or difficulties. And which feels is a very wonderful and auspicious situation that at a sacred place like this, and with the presence of the reincarnation, the Yansi Rinpoche, and teacher and students being together, Dharma friends all gathered together to participate in 2 full weeks of studying and the practicing of the Dharma. And so from that point of view, there's of course to have some sense of joy and inspiration. So which I would like to say that please, with joyful and inspired mind, you will participate in the teachings. And the Rinpoche does not want to drag it too long, because knowing that you are coming from very far away and settling and so forth, it must be quite tiresome for you.
Par ailleurs, il se trouve
which just want to point out one thing to you. That is the lady out there in the wheelchair, Maria. Sorry, is it the French name? Maria. And she was at the seminar in the first year in Bokar, and the second year, even though she couldn't make it personally, but she sent Rinpoche a letter with questions and with also a report of progress and of her practice and whatever assignment that she has completed. And here she is here to participate in our third year's program. And with sincere gratitude and good wishes that she had a very long and meaningful life in the Dharma.
first, one should allow one's body to rest naturally at ease, and then exhale gently out of one's nostrils. As one exhales out, one is exhaling out the residual breath. As one exhales out the residual breath, one should have the attitude all the negativities and conflicting emotions that one has accumulated from beginningless times, as well as all one's obstacles, went out of one's system, out with the breath. And when one inhales, one should have the attitude with one's inhalation with the breath, all the blessings of all the Buddhas, as well as all the essence of all the elements, nature, world, all entering into yourselves in the form of 5 rays of light, and back into through one's nostril, as well as into all the pores of one's body. And having done that, exhaling out for the second time with the attitude of one's sickness of the present, negativities of the present, is going out with the breath and inhaling with the same attitude as mentioned. And when one exhales out for the third time, with the attitude of all the obstacles and negativities of the future is exhaled out, and then breathing in. So in this way, doing 3 times. In order for the realization of Mahamudra to take place, one must, in accordance with the Mahamudra tradition, supplicate to the
masters of the lamas of the Mahamudra lineage, the unbroken Mahamudra lineage, starting with the primordial Buddha Vajrayana, followed by Tilopa, Naropa, Marpa, Milarepa, Gambopa, and the first Karmapa was in Shangpa, and with the successive line of the Karmapas down to the 17th, as well as to our great Lama Master, Bokar Rinpoche, supplicating to them to grant us their blessings. The reason for our being lost and caught up in the sufferings of samsara is clinging to the illusion of self and the reality of the world, and because of the attachment to the notion of self and the reality of the world, we accumulate the sufferings that we experience. So the purpose of requesting for the blessing is to grant us blessings so that we may begin to understand and realize the nature of the world is suffering and impermanent, and understanding that so that we may develop true renunciation or true revulsion for their purpose.
Kurvendele tavır çevala, dene lam bakırdı, lama dövüşünü dene tabi lam tavır çevala, sebep kesin böyle, dene tavır çevala, dene sadece şimdi Bokar Rinpoche tavır çevala, dene tomar lama dövüşünü de ne nasıl Bokar tabi lamları, deyince dene lam tavır çevala, lama dövüşünü çevala, dene tavır number of hours around the year, so I think you like this
En second lieu, pour se libérer des rôles.
Understand and experience the path of liberation from out of samsara, the guidance of a spiritual friend is important, and particularly for us, in order for us to gain the realization of Mahamudra, then the instruction and the role of a master, a Lama, is extremely important. With that understanding, again we request for the blessings of the lineage, so that to such Lama or teacher that we may be able to develop genuine confidence and devotion.
시신 대통령 안에 최저선거 법이 다 자기 시라기 대청부 선거를 대인 부분이 대선도랑 다와이가 저신들라도서 선생 다랑하게 전력이 명도 선 팀이 단가 가고 되는 상황인데
The main reason for our being caught up in the sufferings of cyclic existence is clinging to the notion of self and others or external existences. And through this clinging and attachment, we are constantly distracted by the idea of self and others, and therefore caught up in a state of confusion and distraction. And in order to experience freedom from the cyclic existence, there must be the freedom or liberation from such distractions. So once again we supplicate to the lineage masters to grant us blessings so that we may experience in the place of constant distraction, non-distracted or undistracted awareness, mindfulness and one-pointedness of mind. As such, we supplicate to the lineage masters that we may have the understanding and the realization of the essential points that will bring about the realization of Mahamudra. That is, recognizing the futility of samsara and developing revulsion, developing of genuine confidence and devotion to the Dharma, and the development of non-distracted awareness. So now we will with the supplication prayer to the lineage, and as we do it, we should do it with the attitude of requesting the blessings for the purposes intended.
Soma
The Buddha has expounded vast and profound teachings comprising the various aspects of the sutras and tantras. But a very essential point of all of the teachings boils down to understanding the essential nature of the mind and having the freedom to rest in that essential nature of the mind. And in order to therefore recognize the essential nature of the mind and to be able to rest in the to have the freedom to rest in the nature of the mind, it can be accomplished through the practice of meditation. So therefore, the meditation practice is the most important place. The practice of meditation is extremely important for us Because the reason that we have been lost in situations of confusion and sufferings in the past is because of not having understood and recognized the essential nature of our minds and not having had the freedom to rest, the benefit of the freedom to rest in the nature of the mind. By the same token, that presently within this lifetime also, the very reason that we experience the sufferings that we experience, the confusions that we experience, is simply because of not having understood the essential nature of our mind and not having acquired the freedom to rest in the nature of mind. And in the future lifetimes to come also, if we do not have an understanding of the nature of mind and acquire the freedom to rest in the nature of the mind, we will be furthermore subject to the experience of continuous sufferings and continuous confusion. So, from that point of view, the practice of meditation is most important to free ourselves of such possible sufferings and confusion in the future. Particularly living in the present world that we live in, with the vast changes that are taking place, and with all the so-called technological developments happening, the world happening at such a great speed, has contributed to the greater restlessness of our minds. And in order to bring about the taming of the mind, in order to therefore bring about the freedom from suffering, then the practice of meditation has, in this particular time, even a more important role. Bring about our understanding of our minds and the clarity of the mind through the experience of the clarity of the mind, with the joyful